I just finished Act 1 of Expedition 33, and major spoilers if you haven't played yet. I was not prepared. I kind of had a feeling in this game that one of the main characters was going to die. But I did not expect it to be Gustav. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I might be mispronouncing that wrong, but I was not prepared for that. You finally beat the creature, you get the rock, you're able to now swim in the water, and all of a sudden it's just all over, and introducing Vezo, I believe is his name, whoever the new guy is from Expedition Zero, kind of seeing that people in this world live, some people live forever. That's why the white-haired man wants to make sure that no one gets to the paintress. Definitely some woven in storylines here. A lot of different, complications to this journey, and honestly, I'm digging it so far. So, this game is a 3-act structure, so I'm through Act 1, so roughly about a third of the way through the game, and it's honestly, it's been a roller coaster. So let's recap. Let's just talk about what I've enjoyed so far of the game and what really hasn't worked for me. So the first thing I've loved so far has been the creatures in the game. They're all very unique. They're very different. Their power structures are different. I'm not a big fan of games where it's turn-based, but then you have to block and do all that kind of stuff, defend. Not a huge fan of that, mainly because I'm not very good at it. But I will tell you that I do enjoy the fact that every creature has its own unique attack style, and the timing is different. And even creatures have multiple attacks where the timing's different. So it makes it challenging in a way for me that I don't know, keeps me engaged in the combat. I do like the turn-based aspect of it. I didn't really quite know what I was going to expect with turn-based because I kind of grew up a turn-based guy. But right now everything's more action combat, so I'm liking it though. I'm liking the combat. I'm liking the fact that I have no idea where the storyline is going. It is truly a very unique story. And honestly, it's kind of keeping me on my toes, so I can appreciate that. What have I not liked about it? I don't like the fact that you don't have a mini map in the game. I know that some games just don't, and they do that to encourage more exploring and things like that. In fact, I had a buddy of mine pop in the chat tell me that it was intentional because they wanted to have more exploration in this game, and I get that. But honestly, it gets frustrating because when you go in the battle with someone and you come out of battle, I'm kind of turned around. I don't really remember which way I went or which way I came from. So it's a little annoying, I'm not going to lie, but it's a very kind of minor critique. And I would say the biggest thing that really, honestly just hasn't worked for me this game is when you're outside of certain realms in the map kind of, or your scenery kind of shrinks down, and I mentioned this in the previous video where it's kind of like your old school RPG where you're on this mini map and your character is the size of the trees and mountains and things like that. The proportions are just off. I think it just subtracts from the amazing graphics that you get when you're inside of these little realms. So those are just a couple of, I guess, minor critiques, but so far through Act 1, this game has been truly phenomenal. I'm excited to continue to keep playing. My only complaint is that I'm about to go on vacation with my wife. I'm going to go 10 days without playing this game, which is bullshit. But I have about 2 or 3 days left before I leave for that trip, and I plan on getting as much gameplay in as I can. So, no spoilers for anybody watching this for what Act 2 and Act 3 has to give me, but yeah, Act 1, definitely a win.